As always, spoiler warning, if you have not seen the latest episode of Arrow, you may want to get up off this video, because I'm going to dive into a really big spoiler after these fingers are gone. It's on you now. Hit stop. Now, I have to jump right to how Amanda Waller was killed off. I'm not mad that they killed her off, but the way they did it like as if she was an irrelevant character of the show to begin with. The way they just shot her down like poop, okay. and then I thought he shot her in the arm or something, or or whatever, gashed her head or whatnot, but no, a clean shot in the brain. Like, what the fuck? I mean, not really so much that they killed her, but how they killed her, like she wasn't that relevant to the show to begin with. But oh my gosh, I guess with that being said, with Suicide Squad coming around the corner this summer, I guess they want to, kind of tip, sort of slither away from any copyright issues that they may have or whatnot. I don't know. That's my opinion. But that's like the second character, that's gonna be in Suicide Squad that they killed, right? Because they didn't kill Katana on Arrow. I mean, I don't believe they did. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't. And Harley Quinn made a cameo in Arrow. Remember that? Remember that Harley Quinn cameo? Yeah, I mean, she just made a cameo, and that was it. So there's Deadshot and there's Amanda Waller. But I gotta say, this episode alone, it gave me new suspicions on what could happen later on, like what could happen later on in the season, and the results of how this episode ended. Like, for example, who could possibly be the one to be killing off someone close to Oliver and Felicity? It could be Andy Diggle. It could be, because I don't fully trust him at this point. Even though they, John and Lila decide to let him stay at their place, decide he doesn't need to be locked up anymore. I guess that's their way of thanking him, like when he didn't have to go out of his way to save them, but he did anyway to save, his brother and his sister-in-law and Team Arrow. But I don't trust him fully. I don't. I think something is a little off. I mean, I think they're in a very, very gray area at this point. I don't think they're necessarily in the blackness of the black and white spectrum. I think they're right in the gray area where it could be it could be this way or it could go this way. But and also that's interesting how this is how Diggle's flashback, or I guess Andy Diggle's flashback, how his flashback eventually, how it quickly starts to tie in with Oliver's flashback of the season, with the flashback villain of season 4, when he makes an appearance, and then they're saying that's, I guess he's their superior of Shadowspire, and so he may take him over to the island. That it looks like he may go over to the island where Oliver is, and which is raising a lot of questions. I mean, is that what's going to happen? Is he going to see Oliver? Is Oliver going to see him? Like, what the hell? I mean, that's going to be in a very interesting story with the flashbacks. This is not just Diggle's episode. This is also Felicity's episode, where we see what she's going through since she's been back home. Her first, night back home since, being shot, and the medication that they're giving her is making her hallucinate, and then she's hearing voices. Well, she's hearing one voice in particular, which is her past self, and when we see that it is her past self just talking down on her and telling her that she made the wrong choice and she's pathetic and etc., etc., etc. I mean, you were better, before you went this route, and blah 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 blah. And what I find funny in that scene where Oliver's trying to talk to her, and her past self is standing right behind them, and they're both talking to her at the same time. It's almost like they're trying to talk over to each other. I mean, that scene was handled pretty. I thought that scene was pretty stale on Oliver's behalf and past Felicity's behalf. Almost like they're trying to talk over each other, like where they're trying to talk over each other. But it should sound calmly like how I'm talking to you. Like how let's say past Felicity is trying to talk over Oliver, but he's talking calmly to her. I mean that would have been a better way for that scene to go, but it's just I mean, like I don't know. I mean, it's pretty normal for that must have been going on in Felicity's head, and then I guess the medication is sort of playing off of that. You know what I mean? With her past self, pretty much, I guess, mimicking her low self-esteem that she might be thinking to herself at that point. Like, I feel like I'm failing the team, and I feel like I can't contribute to them anymore. But I mean, which is certainly not true. I mean, they discovered that, eventually. Oh, okay. Before I forget, when they gave her that, when she gets a code name, was it Overwatch? Was it Overwatch? And then when Green Arrow said, I would have gone with Oracle, but it's taken. Oh, nice DC reference. I mean, that's like a little wink to that Batman could exist in this universe. I mean, oh my gosh, I did not see the latest episode to Legends of Tomorrow, but you did hear it in that trailer to Legends of Tomorrow. I've seen Men of Steel die and Dark Knight's Fall. I mean, that's a pretty big reference there. So why not this? I mean, so I guess we can squash the whole Felicity becomes Oracle theory. Squash it. So I am cool with that. And this was a decent episode. It was decent. It wasn't bad. I liked how it's Diggle's episode and at the same time it's Felicity's episode. And I like how Diggle's pretty much in that point where he has to take a chance and trust his brother Andy. And even though it could go many different ways. I mean, Andy kind of reminds me of Winter Soldier. I mean, like he's like the DC's version of Winter Soldier, where he's not Andy, but he is Andy, and they're how Captain America's like Bucky, and he's not Bucky, and he's Winter Soldier. Yeah, I just made a Marvel reference in a DC character review. What's the penalty? I'm kidding. I mean, I'm a fanboy. I'm not fan to just one brand. I'm a fan of both. So, I mean, it's a good connection though. Andy kind of reminds me of Winter Soldier, the way his memory was wiped away when we first met him, and he's just a totally different person, and then Andy starts to come back. So I mean, there's a little similarities there. But now that Andy is no longer in his cell, that can that's stirring up much more speculation. I'm probably with you guys. I mean, do you think he's gonna be the one that may cost cost Oliver or Team Arrow to lose someone that that is dear to them? You think Andy's gonna be the one to do it? I still think it's that other guy in the previous episode, Anarchy or Scarface or whatever, who went after the family that Damien Dark has taken, in his care. I mean, it just stirs up everything, like it could go this way and that way and this way and that way and this way and that way. So, I don't know. I mean, having Andy out his cell this soon, I just have a bad feeling about that. I have a really bad feeling about that. But this episode, I will rate it a 7.5. Yeah, I have to say a 7.5. And thank you, by the way, for those of you who have watched my Arrow more predictions, Arrow season 4 video for more predictions. For not giving me shit for getting Lila's name wrong. I mean, I called her Lydia for some reason. I thought her name was, for some reason I want to call her Lydia, but even though I know it's Lila. So, thank you for not giving me any shit about that. But I guess we'll see where it goes. And as far as Andy as far as Andy's role plays this season, where does it go from here? Does it go into a good place or a bad place? I think it's in a gray area right now until further notice. And you know what? When Oliver and Laura were having that conversation about the Flash's ability to run back in time, I thought Oliver was gonna say to Laura, I'm gonna ask Barry to run back in time and save Felicity and stop her from being shot. That's what I thought he was gonna say at first, but until he said, I didn't listen to him when he said it could, there could be consequences, going back and changing time, which he has done more than once, and the only time he did that, where it was a really, really a grave consequence, was when Reverse Flash made a comeback, and when he stopped him from killing Tina McGee, and that almost killed Cisco. I mean, him, messing with the timeline like that. I mean, I think that's when it really, really stepped over the line. But in the previous, season when he did that, and this season, I guess there were minor consequences. I mean, they weren't really big to me, but I guess they were, not as big as it was, in this week's episode. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say to that. So overall, this episode was pretty decent. Looking forward to seeing where the flashbacks go now that they start to tie in together. So feel free to share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Andy being out of his cell, what do you think what lies ahead with that? Where is that gonna go? Where does that take the story? And if you enjoy my review, give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you click subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.